I want to take my mom on the ultimate kayak fishing day trip where we'll make unforgettable memories catching trout and striped bass on the lower Illinois River. But before we can do that, I have to plan it, which is pretty overwhelming because I have to find a spot to launch, find a spot to take out, get back and forth to the spots, catch fish, and make a memory that will last
forever.
and load all of our gear back and make it home in time. So first things first, thankfully the lower Illinois River has several public access areas near the Tenkiller Dam, providing easy access to the river where we could put in our kayaks. To find these spots, I simply headed to the ODWC website and then searched on onX Maps to ensure that they were public land. Now you can do this for just about any river in the US. Just use the Wildlife Department's website for the state that the river is in, not the Oklahoma Wildlife Department's website. So great, having a spot to launch our kayaks is awesome, but it's pointless without having a place to actually take out. And unless I wanted to walk several miles back to the truck and then drive back to load up all of our stuff, and I definitely don't want to do that because we're on a time crunch and I'm just way too lazy for that nonsense. Oh yeah, the time crunch. I forgot to mention the time crunch. My mom had to be back in time to babysit my niece, so we had to cut our trip shorter than we normally would. You see, typically we take out at a public boat ramp that's several miles down the river, but this time we couldn't do it, which means our time was extremely limited to make an unforgettable memory together. So once again, I used the internet to find the perfect takeout spot, but this time it was a private campground that only charged us a day use fee to park our vehicle there. Shoot, that was easy enough. I hope the rest of the trip is this simple. All right, we've got the 2 spots nailed down. Now we need to figure out how we're gonna get back and forth to each spot. Thankfully, this was also really easy to do. We just drove 2 separate vehicles. I drove my SUV and my mom drove her truck. In the morning, we'd meet at the campground, drop off mom's truck, and then we'd proceed to drop off all of our fishing gear and kayaks that was already loaded into my SUV. Honestly, this part of the plan is the best. It's my favorite time. It's time to float the river and start catching fish. The lower Illinois is stocked with trout and they are a blast to catch. But we've also seen some big striped bass swimming in the river. And I know the state record striper was actually caught out of the lower Illinois. So I brought some gear along to try my hand at that too. Now floating the river is also the spot where I've got to make a lasting memory with my mom. What if she forgets me? So to do this, I let her catch more fish than me. Okay, not really. I didn't let her catch more fish than me, but she ended up catching more fish than me. And honestly, you can't plan these moments. At least I think the best memories are the unexpected or unplanned ones. And it didn't help that we were rushed for time, but spending time with my mom was memories enough. I love going fishing with her and hanging out together, especially on our kayaks. Number one, while we're fishing, every fish is a giant fish. It doesn't matter how big or little it actually is. She's hooping and hollering and just having a great time, which is contagious for me, who I might be having a bad day because I'm only catching dinks. And then I look over at her at how much fun she's having catching the same dinks. And I'm like, hey, I can have a much better attitude about this. On top of that, she's just a really great mom. I'll never forget the time that I had to tell her that I got my girlfriend in high school pregnant and I thought I was going to die. But her reaction was that she smiled at me and gave me a big hug and loved on me. And I know this wouldn't be the reaction of a lot of parents, but it was exactly what I needed when I needed it most. And that's the thing about my mom. She's always there when I need her the most. So, to more lasting memories to you, Mom. I love you. Lasting memory, check. Now we've just got to make it to our takeout spot, get the truck, load everything up, and make it home so my mom can be back in time to watch my niece. Thankfully, this was another easy thing, and Marvell was super accommodating to us bringing our truck down and loading up our gear, and we will definitely be back to visit this campground because I grew up camping there, but I haven't been in years, and I think it's about time to bring my daughter and my wife to experience some of the fun that I had as a kid growing up. Now, if you ever get the chance to plan a river fishing trip, I highly encourage you to do it. It's not as difficult as it may seem at first, and once you've done it once or twice, it's easy to take this format and transfer it to any river that has public access areas. Now, if you want to see some awesome catches off of the Illinois River, you can check out these 2 videos right here, and I can't wait to see you there.